Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
You think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Because when he has been in the bright lights and enjoying his time, having fun and lapping it up, no problem. You're the big celebrity. You're in the bright lights. I've been in the dark, in the trenches, in the gym.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
And the new IBO, WBO, WBA, WBC franchise, and Ring Magazine.
People ask me, when does camp start? Camp started as soon as I bet TFM my Lopez. As soon as I batted him and took all his belts, camp started the next day.
What a right hand from George Campbell, and the takeover went down.
He's a good villain, though.
Yeah, no, he is.
You feel in charge.
Would have fought anybody. Lomachenko, Devin Haney. Unfortunately, Lomachenko's not available. Beautiful. Devin Haney, step up. Now we'll take your belt.
This is Sparta!
SDS Promotions.
But he says he will finish his fight as a king. What's a king to an emperor?
You are now locked into the Boxing Voice live from Las Vegas with Nesta Gibbs and Ringwalk Danny.
Let's start with this. I'm a creative genius.
SDS.
And now, the most dangerous producer on YouTube, Brandon in Houston.
SDS Promotions.
You're now locked into the king of all boxing podcasts, The Boxing Voice. Jab that like button.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
What is it? Is it that they don't like the Charlottes? You like the Charlottes?
The unified WBA, WBC, and IBF 154-pound champion of the world.
I'm happy, not angry, I'm passionate.
The WBC middleweight champion of the world.
No, I think you're a great fighter. And
I know that already.
They say, oh, the Charlottes ain't fought nobody. Duh, because they don't want to fight us. Fighters, come on, step up and win that shit. Come on, let's get it. Like I said, I went to the top already. I seen the bottom before. At the top, I seen the bottom. I went back down to the bottom and shot back the fuck back up. Now what they mad at me for? It's not like old school boxing, where the best fight the best no more. It's about politics. It's about who you know, who you are, if you got a crowd behind you. Sit your ass in your weight division and see if you can beat one of them. Cause fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby. If we stand by lines only, just like we made this up, we gonna ride with it. We're gonna ride with it till the day we die.
Jamal, Charlo.
SDS Promotions.
Shut the fuck up, you little prick.
Yeah?
Yeah, prick. Come on, get him out of here.
You're getting out of
Yeah, move him out of here.
SDS Promotions.
Fury's the name, and fucking fighting's the game. His heart's rattling now. His walls have sunk up inside of him. There's a man here that's going to annihilate your daughter.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
The heavyweight champion of the world, the greatest fighter that's ever lived, ever laced a pair of boxing rules on, ever stood in a boxing arena. Me, the Gypsy King.
Fury, under the hands of Sugar Hill, is just a different beast. He's a different monster.
Joshua's a coward. Who takes a pussy and Dylan White don't want to fight? So if you can prove me wrong, get to fucking fighting. These are all coward bum dossers. I'll annihilate the lawyers and destroy yous. Submit yous. Tap you bitches out.
Fury's just too intelligent. When he has to box, he boxes. When he's got a triple jab, he triple jabs.
If he holds a handful of stones and throws them at me, he may have a chance of landing something.
Chicken! Joshua! Where are you? Where are you, AJ? AJ!
Dylan White's a bitch. I want to see you. You've got to fight me anyway.
Taking supernatural strength. Fury throwing it up.
SDS Promotions.
I'm going to smash your face in two. There's not one thing you can do about it.
Good morning, TBV. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Friday morning. Oh, it's Monday, but every day's motherfucking Friday. When you're rocking out with TBV, we getting you through your work week. And we're back to discuss Shakur Stevenson staying in the news, making headlines. But this time, it's Frank Martin that finally comes out, breaks his silence, and speaks. And you ain't going to believe what he had to say. I'm telling you, I don't know how can we explain it other than a super fight, right? Like, if you get a big fight, then I guess you ain't ducking. But according to Shakur, he ain't getting no big fight. That's the media saying shit to protect him, according, once again, to Shakur, right? And I'll show you that here in just a bit. But buenos dias, mi gente. ¿Cómo están? Hopefully everybody is doing good on their way to work or already made it to work and, having your coffee. This morning we are going to have Brian Cohen on the show. Brian is a boxing manager, and I'll leave the details for when he gets here. This way you guys are at least a little bit surprised by the guests, since he manages quite a few females in boxing. But the number to call if you want to voice your opinion after we're done giving you the facts is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice that opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Again, we got a few things we want to show you. We'll start with the narrative, right? According to Shakur, the media is creating a narrative and an excuse for Frank by assuming that he has another fight, and that's why he pulled out of this fight. Now, I don't know if Shakur has knowledge of the situation, but he did have this to say. Danny on Boxing Twitter, he sent me something. He said, yo, did you see this tweet from Shakur? Danny, I didn't see it from Shakur because he deleted it, but I seen it from you because you on your job all the time, so I actually am using yours to share it today on the show. But this is Shakur right here, where he says media is sick. They make up rumors just to protect a certain fighter's image. What are y'all even talking about? That man ain't pull out to fight nobody else. And then you got a hand on your face emoji, right? So he's like, come on, I'm tired of the BS. Stop the bullshit. You feel me? So I don't know, man. We got to see here what comes from all of this. But for sure, it certainly isn't looking good for Frank. Again, unless he can somehow get that tank fight, I'm not understanding how he looks okay in this situation, Why is my screen share not working? What the fuck is going on? All right, maybe I shouldn't have touched that. But yeah, man, Frank ain't looking good in this situation right now. I don't know what to expect. We're just going to have to wait and see. But he did come out, and let me give you that. Frank did come out and have this to say. Where is it? Here we go. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, now is the perfect time to hit that thumbs up. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. And here is Frank's tweet. And he says, I ain't duck shit. And that's yesterday, 5:22 p.m. Few words, a man, a few words, a man, a few words, man. So even though everything is pointing to a possible Frank Martin ducking situation, he's still claiming that he's not. But these videos that he did are not aging well. This is Frank on a Fight Hype interview in the past. And again, saying all the right things when the fight is not actually on paper, no contract, not official. When they're just hypotheticals, fighters say the right things. Now, I'm not insinuating that Frank is one of those fighters that wait for situations like this to to then turn it around. But I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, you'll hear the video.
Like, let the world know
Okay, so that
he
didn't
want
work. There we go. We don't need that music.
Shakur was basically saying that he feel like he worth more. Feel him on that. He want a better.
And credit Fight Hub, as this is Frank Martin giving his 2 cents on Shakur not accepting the 25% from Devin Haney. So I'll just go back a little bit more. So now that you have the context of everything. Oh,
talk.
God. Hold on, bro. See, I'm trying to make it all nice for y'all, and that ain't working.
I seen Shakur was basically saying that he feel like he worth more. Feel him on that. He want a better split, a more fair split. But I feel like Devin, I don't know, he took like a lower percentage to go against.
Now just pay attention, because there's a reason I'm showing you this. He obviously understands what Shakur and Devin went through, and he's expressing that.
Cambosis, he had to do that. So I feel like sometimes as fighters, we might have to accept certain terms like that, to get in those type of positions, and then the tables turn. Oh, we gonna bang out. We gonna take that.
Now, when he says we gonna bang out, we gonna take that. It's obviously the video was cut. There was a question asked and we have to hypothetically assume it was, if an offer like that came across the table for you, would you take it? And then you see what he has to say.
We gonna bang out. We gonna take that. We gonna take that because we trying to get to the top, and then after that, table's gonna turn. So,
but he didn't, in fact, take it. So we don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, obviously, those without knowledge of the situation could only, choose to call Frank, a guy that avoided a big fight with Shakur Stevenson. Again, him coming out saying he ain't duck shit.
How'd you take that, man? I saw that.
My head is swirling because you got Tank saying he moves in silence, Frank saying he ain't duck shit, and it's true. Like, if I'm Frank, am I ducking Shakur if I'm fighting a bigger puncher and a bigger fighter? So Shakur is saying, bro, y'all making shit up. That dude ain't got no fight. He just ducking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've seen that tweet.
I did. As far as, yes, media sick.
Mm-hmm. But at the bottom, he says, what y'all even talking about? That man ain't pull out to fight nobody else. Meaning,
right.
Stop the cap. Stop saying he's fighting Tank. That's not true. But now, how do we know that Shakur knows? Or how do we know that Shakur has full knowledge of what's going on in Frank's camp? We don't. Yeah, we can assume that he does, but we really don't. So, we don't know if Frank has another offer out there.
I think everybody can at least say, like, for me, I found it weird. I can't say everybody, but I found it weird that we got to the 23rd hour. Like this was literally moments before, you know, the purse bid, the scheduled purse bid.
Hardball, chess, stalling him out, making it hard for him to get opponents, knowing all the time they wasn't gonna fight. I don't know. I mean,
But why
they're not
accept
beefing.
Why accept something?
Those sides are not beefing, so I ain't even understand that. But let me say it out loud so that no one lets me forget. We got an interview scheduled once again at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be having manager Brian Cohen on the show, manager of a lot of the big star female boxers in boxing. So join us here. Once again, you know it. As always, if you want to ask him a question, you can do that by joining our members and or our Patreon, and there you can find a post for Brian and you can ask him your question and we'll read it off via your name. So this is what Shakur tweeted and deleted. So on his tank shit, this is what happened here, right? And here's your side-by-side comparison. Shout out once again to Danny on Twitter at Dan the Man, no, at Dan the Boxing Man. And to the right of the screen is Shakur quote tweeting Frank when Frank broke silence and says, I ain't duck shit. So Shakur said, so what, you just ghosted the situation? Tell them, and ain't put it laughing out loud, of course, because it was a funny joke. He said, tell them people how you was making quadruple more than your biggest payday. And he said 4 times, but that's only if Frank made 200, which I ain't see a fight on paper that he made 200. He made 75 for Michelle. So it's like Artem ain't give him 200. So to me, he was making 6-7 times his money. Easy. Not even 10 times. He making $1 million. Excess of $1 million means
So,
more than, a little bit more than, or slightly under.
I ain't saying nah, excess is more than.
All right then.
I ain't saying that Artem is no bigger name because I ain't know the dude, right? But I will say that I felt momentum and A side was in Michelle's favor going into the fight.
Of course.
And you know, maybe Frank did get the B side payment for that fight, and then got the A side payment. You know.
Yeah, but again, how much A side payment?
Yeah.
They ain't gonna give you 200,000 to fight Artem. I'm just not. If you ain't get 200,000 to fight Michelle, there's no way they're gonna be like, oh, you did a good job with Michelle, so here's an extra bonus.
I'm not saying he got $250,000, but
Whoa.
I mean, if it's excess than $1 million and you making quadruple, it has to be at least a quarter.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I don't agree with Shakur. I don't think Frank was making 250. Now, if he was making 250 off, you know, what they reporting, that's fine. Because, you know, what they tell Nevada or the commission is what they tell. But on paper, Googling, nah, he ain't make 250.
Did you find anything for the Artem fight?
Definitely not 250.
But did you find anything for the Artem fight?
No. But nothing that I found is 250 or 200. But Shakur said what he said.
That's
right?
Contradicting yourself, brother.
You talking to Shakur?
I'm talking to you.
Why?
Because
it's so funny. That fits for Shakur too, right? Because if you see on the left, Devin told Shakur, you will make more money than you made in your last 3 fights combined. So there are people running with the Antonio Leonard's son that called in here saying that Shakur would have made 8. I mean, if Shakur's been making 2 and 3, and Dev is saying he would have made 3 times that, that's 9, very close to the 8 that Leonard was hypothetically talking.
6 to 9.
Yeah, 6 to 9 if you're doing 2.
Right.
Thank you. So these tweets are very similar. One man telling another man, you would have made more money than you ever made had you fought me. But both men having the stance that well, not both. Frank just saying he ain't duck shit. Obviously, Shakur's done plenty of audio where he felt he deserved way more and he felt he was a draw. But these are the facts. This is what's going on, man. I don't know. I'm very sad that this fight didn't happen because even though Martin was not a world champion, never fought for a title, this fight had legs. It has some steam. People cared. And
people definitely cared.
It's important when people care about your fight, man. So, no one cared about Robinson Cano no, that's the wrong name. Canciao. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody cared about Yoshino, and maybe Nakatilia made a name for himself, but we ain't really care for that fight. And then Murataya came and destroyed him and won. So it's like the dude you was extra careful with, a prospect destroyed. I don't know, man. It's very tough.
At a different weight class, to be fair.
I didn't know, but it's very tough to be in the Shakur business right now. It's like, yo, they freezing him out. The promoter sent, like, we can't even say they doing the same thing as Bud. I see some people running with that scenario, and that's not true. They paying. They didn't want, like, Bob Arum came out, whether he gave Porter the money 2 years later or not, he physically came out and said Porter wasn't worth $1 million. All he getting is $1 million, shit like that, right? They ain't do that to Frank. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put a cap on him. They didn't discredit him in the media. They sent him a real good offer. A real good offer. So good that the promoter that was representing him decided not to go to purse bid at the last hour. So he's not in that Terrence Bud Crawford situation. They gave him Oscar Valdez. I mean, let's be real. In the entire time that Bud was with Top Rank, his Valdez is Gamboa.
Who's Valdez?
Bud Crawford's Valdez is Gamboa.
Can you explain the analogy?
You tell me. I mean, it's self-explanatory. Who's bigger?
One fight was the unification.
Who's bigger on Bud's name than Valdez that came from the hands of Top Rank for Bud? None of them dudes, bro. I'm telling you. Gamboa was the dude with the biggest hype. Nobody believed Horn won. Victor Postal was Victor Postal. Like Khan, Brooke, they was past their prime. I'm telling you, Gamboa, like Top Rank ain't all I'm saying, I'm just showing you a case that you cannot say Shakur is Bud because Shakur been getting the fights from Top Rank from the beginning. They gave him his own friend for a belt. Let's be real. We got dudes out here talking about, oh, that's my boy. I ain't doing it. Bye, bye, bye. Whoop-diddy-whoop. They made enough money for both them dudes to take that fight. He fought his friend. Turned around, fought the Mexican dude people thought he wouldn't get. Let's not forget, he was also offered Navarrete. He just felt the money wasn't right. You feel me? They offered him Warrington. He didn't feel the money was right. So they've been giving him fights. They're not treating him like Bud. Like, he's in a different situation than Bud was in when Bud was with Top Rank. They believe in Shakur wholeheartedly, I think. Are they overpaying? No. Because then the Warrington fight, the Cordina fight, and even this one would have happened. But I do think this was a magnificent offer for Frank. Unless he can show us, like, yo, that's cap. The internet don't know. I mean, I've been making XYZ.
Even still, I feel like the only way you get out of that is a Tank fight because what is going to be bigger for Frank than Shakur?
Nothing. On the high end, Tank. On the low end, Pitbull Cruz. Somehow you on a Pitbull Cruz on Earl pay-per-view. Maybe they gonna say, oh, he jumped on it with his big Bora. It ain't the same. It was supposed to be you and Earl.
Yeah, nah.
And Core and fucking.
You ain't selling me on that. I mean, I ain't gonna say you ain't selling me, but nah, you ain't selling me on that. On that Pitbull, because all I'm hearing is you got two guys fighting each other that avoided Shakur. I mean, Pitbull's in line. WBC keeps updating their fucking rankings. I don't understand.
Bro, they took Thurman out. Bye-bye. Crazy.
What?
My boy Thurminator's gone.
What he do?
Yo, I don't know what T.O.'s going to do. That's why we haven't had, like, its own Tiafimo show. Because T.O. is the Kanye West of boxing. He's so, you feel me? And I'm obviously on YouTube doing the wave with my hand because this is an audio podcast, but he's up and down, flip-floppity. You know what I'm saying? But in a bigger, like in a world where I could believe T.O., today's show would have been T.O. is super champion. Is he going to challenge Terrence Crawford? So I at least want to talk about it. I didn't want to make a whole show because it's like, what if he makes me look like a fool? He's only taking super champion status to take time off, work on family shit. But then there's the flip side to the coin. Like, is this dude activating super champion status to now ask for a fight with Terrence or the vacant title? Because if Terrence don't want it and Terrence is fighting Earl
at 154,
motherfucking T.O. versus Alexis Rocha or Cody. What the fuck? Come on, man. What you doing?
Nah, the dog threw shit off, champ. What the
About
fuck?
to break shit. You seen that? Now we gonna be memes and shit.
Bro, that's,
bro,
you know.
little nervous Jervis.
Yo,
damn,
you got a
nigga done
dog.
broke my phone.
You got a dog fucking with a dude with PTSD, champ. What
Come
the
on,
fuck?
man.
Yeah.
Look, damn.
She ain't never did that.
Did what?
Bro,
Sniff you?
Nah, bro. It's like she start like biting my kneecap. I'm for real though. Champ.
Yo, so what's your thoughts, man? You think he taking time off to fight, or I mean to chill, or he gonna end up fighting
Look,
Rocha?
he was vocal on social media. He was vocal on social media talking about
what?
He said, I don't understand it. I
Yeah, I
guess
seen that,
we
but
are
that
the
was-
last breeds of champions.
I seen
What
that.
a heartache to those who love boxing. So I don't think he's gonna he's also very happy that he got the super status. He made it a point to let it be known that he was voted unanimously for that. You know, he feels that
Bro, let me tell you, shit is political. I read that shit thoroughly. The bylaws on the WBO clearly state you need at least 10 WBO defenses or do some super shit. Moretti, the president of Top Rank, is trying to say that T.O. did some super shit by fighting the lineal and undisputed champ that hadn't lost his belts in the ring. Now, we all know we thought Taylor lost to Catterall and then a year of inactivity. So it was super, but I don't know if it automatically trumps 10 WBO title defenses. Now, don't get me wrong. In the bylaws, it also states that a champion must be a champion multiple times, and T.O. has had that WBO. Now in two divisions, and he's defended it.
And he you know, he did it against
and he won it by knockout, right? Or he won the IBF by knockout. Which one he took from Comey?
No, that was an IBF.
Okay, damn.
But I'm saying he took it from two reigning defending champions. You get what I'm saying? In Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. So you know, I think you got to give him credit for that, right?
I'm just saying, do we get super status? Shout out. This your daily female boxing talk. Shout out to my girl, Shadeja Green. It says, I've been held out, avoided, and overlooked too long. I don't let it stress me. Fingers crossed, I'm motivated. Check emoji. Feel me? Even though she ain't got no fight coming up, according to what I heard, which sucks. I got some other female boxing news to post. This one was interesting. I wonder what my girl Clarissa got to say
Bro,
about
the whole
this.
fucking table shook.
Duh. I wonder what my girl Clarissa got to say about this, and she's so vocal on being the GOAT and highest paid. So Rick Ramos did an interview where I guess Serrano didn't agree, and this is Serrano, as you can see right there, and she goes on to say,
Damn, that's with all due respect to Rick Ramos. He is incorrect on this one. I could care less about Katie Taylor. I'm past her. I'm actually making more money than any other female boxer today, including Katie. So
Stop right there. Is that true? Like over Clarissa and Katie?
She said, I'm actually making more money than any other female boxer today, including Katie.
And any other. So she
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
keep
Yeah,
the
no,
quote
no, for
out.
sure, for sure.
She ain't keep the quote out. I don't know if we need to finish reading because
Hey,
I feel
man,
like
say, man, look.
damn, y'all let me forget. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, it's the interview.
Brian, I'm sending you the link
Fucking nuts.
Bro, I sent that shit to so many of y'all asking y'all to not let me forget. And y'all let me forget. We 2 minutes late, bro.
Hey, man, I won't question it. Shout out to Jake Paul.
Word.
You know, I won't question it.
Jesus, I can't believe I forgot the link. I even sent him a message an hour ago, like, yo, just a reminder. I needed a reminder for my damn self.
Now, all time, I don't know.
All time what?
Like I'm saying, career earnings. I mean, she's been around for a minute too, so maybe even that. You know, but I feel like I could see it because of Jake, man. You know, she got that $1 million payday against Katie. She been fighting.
But you telling me Clarissa ain't make a mill for Marshall or better? Undisputed in her home country, like GOAT status. I mean, all the accolades. That shit don't make sense to me.
Yeah, but you know, Amanda's had the opportunity to fight after that on Jake undercards, co-main event for Jake and shit. So I feel like oh man, you know, maybe Jake is indeed taking care of her.
Well, hopefully we get Brian on, who I sent the link, and he could let us know because he manages females. He's in the know. I've been dying for this interview. Let me tell you, for at least 2 years now. It's crazy.
That long?
For real.
What I'm saying, like, why couldn't
I haven't been able to get a hold of him till this year, and then it took many months to lock him in.
Oh wow.
And I'm excited for this story, bro. I mean, in my mind, I've built him up to be this genius. I mean, think about it. The guy's got like 20 female fighters. So I'm dying to find out, like, when did it click? When did you know? Or was it because of his wife? Did he do and become who he is solely because of the wife? Or did he see something like Mikey and knew there was a void that was about to explode? Because I'm telling you, bro, this dude got so many of the girls we know, it's insane. I don't even understand it. Like, he got them all. Here we go. Brian, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, man? How are you?
I am good. I was just telling my audience how I dropped the ball and forgot, but how excited I am about this interview. I've been trying to get a hold of you for a while now. I think it's been about 2 years, truth be told, since I found out about you, and been wanting to get you on this show. Wanting that story because I just want to know, why'd you get started, right? Like, in my mind, I've built you up as this boxing manager genius, first and foremost. Let me just tell you, I got you as a genius, and I feel like your story could go one or two ways. Like, you seen a void in women's boxing, and you just started signing every woman you can sign, or you did it for the love of your wife. So I'll let you tell me, what's the story.
Well, first off, if I knew you were trying to get a hold of me 2 years ago, I would jump at the chance to do an interview with you because I try to talk as much shit as I can on a regular basis. My wife will tell you I wake her up at night, I talk shit in my sleep. Oh God, I can't stand Rick Ramos. Oh my God. Oh, Jessica McCaskill's terrible. I talk shit all day long. So no, but to be fair, the reason why honestly I got involved with women's boxing is because of my daughter. My daughter's 12. I've been managing females for about 13, 14 years, but I really got deep into it when I seen how the females were treated. They were treated as a sideshow. You the comments from the promoters, hey, does your fighter look like a 13-year-old boy with a sports bra? We don't want that type of thing. So I was like, it's more of like, and a lot of people don't know this, it's more for like women's equality is the kind of the reason why I kind of did it. And everybody, like I said, man, I'll joke around, I'll talk shit and things like that, but just the way that they were being treated, back in the day, 10, 12 years ago, females were fighting title fights for $3,000, and you was, supposedly happy to take it. You know what I mean? And be grateful for a spot on the card. So ever since then, man, anybody that needed help, I would sign and I would help everybody. And that's the story. You know what I mean?
But what year did you start? Because I'm gonna go through the list because I know my audience has no clue, and
Yep.
you fill me in on any names that BoxRec may not have. But you had
Start
Candy
start with
Wyatt,
start with
Samara
Melissa Hernandez because that was the first female I ever managed.
from
So it was
Florida.
well, she was from the Bronx. She was from New York, which she lived in Brooklyn at the time. And I'm trying to remember what our first fight was together, but it was that long ago. I know it was one of the fights. It was her first fight where she beat Jelena Marinovic. So if you can go back and look at that, it's in those type of years is when I first started managing females.
Now,
So it's
some
like
of
I
these
said,
women I haven't seen, but most of them I have, which is again what struck my interest. Like Candy Wyatt, I know. Samara Woods, I know. Shelly Vincent,
So
obviously we know.
that first fight, that was 2011. So yeah, about
yeah,
12 years ago.
yeah. So there you go. So I managed her probably like a year or so before that. So 12, 13 years I've been in the game. You know what I mean?
And you even have Mary Spencer.
Yeah. I got
Bro,
that little kid.
you're everywhere. I'm Melissa Odessa.
Hold
I
on,
love Melissa.
hold on. When he said Mary's name, you're like, yeah. Like,
I mean, cause
Yeah, well,
she
I
suffered
had
a
that little
loss
kid.
like a fight ago.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know about that loss is, believe it or not, man. So it was in Canada, obviously. She fought Femke Hermans, and she had COVID, but nobody knew. We didn't find out till after the fight. It was like she weighed in, and then the next day because she wasn't eating a lot. I said, "Yo, let me see how much you weigh now," and she like lost 2 pounds, which I thought was funny. And then I seen her warming up in the back. She's hitting the pads, but she's breathing a little heavy, which you know what I'm saying, like. It was just peculiar to me. So after the fight and the way she looked, she got tested for she had COVID. I mean, that's no excuse. I mean, not taking anything away from Femke. She's a sweetheart. She's a hell of a fighter, and she deserved to win, obviously. But yeah, no, Mary had COVID. So we're doing the rematch for the IBF and IBO in October.
so I wanted to ask you specifically to the rematch because obviously this is going to be, Mary's first fight since suffering the loss, but Femke's been active. Any concern there?
So if you look at Mary's activity level, right? Mary has been super active, and Mary's no young chicken, right? Mary's what, 38, 39 years old. So I think her body was being pushed maybe a little bit too much. Her promotional company, Ida Tiger, who done a wonderful job promoting her. They spared no expense. Mark Ramsey is the head of operations there, and they did an amazing job with her, bringing her up and getting her the fights that she needed to get. I just think she was a little tired, man, and we'll see in October. Maybe she just can't beat Femke. That's just some of those fighters you can't beat those kind of fighters,
I'm gonna
and it
be
is what it is.
real. I watched that fight. I think she's just got to go back to the drawing board. I feel she fell in love with her power. Let's be real. She was a puncher, and she kept trying to knock this girl out. Like at some point, you got to box.
Yeah.
But
I agree with you.
yeah, that's how I looked at
Yeah.
it. But outside of that, you got Melissa Odessa Parker. I don't know what happened with her because I've been following her for at least 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And she had like a year of inactivity. Then when I look, she got a loss. She just lost in Texas. Like, what the hell happened?
So again, I'm gonna tell you what happened. She fought Sharita Metcalf, who again, I love Sharita.
Isn't
I've
that
spoken
Slim
to.
Goody?
If that's what you want to call it, yeah,
No,
I
but that's her
suppose.
name. But that's her name,
Yeah,
right? The girl that hangs with
yeah.
Terrence Crawford, right?
Yeah. Some people call her that. Some people call her chicken. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
it was one of those fights. It was one of those nights, I'll say, right? One of those nights that, like, when you're watching, I was there, obviously, right? And I'm watching all the other fights, and everybody who I thought won was either catching a draw or losing. So, I'm sitting there, me and my wife was sitting there, Kaylee, and we're sitting there, we're watching the first round, and we have that clock in our head. So she said to me, she says, "Does this round seem long to you?" And I said, "Yeah, it does, actually." So I go to the timekeeper. I was like, "Yo, what's the time?" He was like, 2:40. I said, "They females." I said, "Ring the bell." They're not fighting 3-minute rounds. They're fighting 2-minute rounds, right? The judges were there. I don't know the judge's name, and I don't even know if I would say it here, but I would say it if I knew his name. I don't really care. But he's checking his cell phone during the fight.
So hold on. We could figure that out, right? Because there's 3 judges. You had Manuel Chapa, who had a 75-77. You had
Right.
Hector Gonzalez, who had it 74-78. And then you
Right.
had David Ayobuchi, who had it a draw.
Damn, so it was tight scores.
It
was a majority draw decision, yep.
If you would have seen the fight, though, like, I swear, and again, this is nothing against Sharita, man. She didn't land a punch for the first 3 rounds.
Wow.
She was, Melissa's defense was on point, and she was the aggressor, right? And she was effective. So what do you score fights on? Effective aggressiveness, defense, and controlling the ring. And I feel like Melissa did that the whole fight. I did say to Melissa's corner that the judges are the judging tonight is very off. And, whether they took it to account or didn't take it into account. Because if I'm not in the corner, I'm not in the corner. I don't like to disrupt things. Trainers got their own thing. So I don't, I don't really, get involved in that. But I will say, because of the judge, and I don't know, like you said, you did name the 3 judges. I just don't know which one it was. One of them was checking their cell phone during the fight, and as far as the timekeeping, so I did file a protest. So I have a protest pending, and I never do that. I never file a protest. I just think that the shit was really off. The whole night, though, everything was off. So I did file a protest, and I have a protest pending.
Now she's fighting this Friday on the Zone in TJ against Erica Cruz.
I hope I'm not getting in your business. I'm not saying this statement to get an answer, but I hope you got to pay because Cruz is tough. Isn't that the Cruz's aunt? That's the aunt of Isaac Cruz, the girl that fought Amanda Serrano, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the same girl. I mean, she can fight.
She tough.
But the thing is, man, you got to remember, Melissa, when I presented the fight to Melissa wants to fight some of the best females out there, and Cruz is a good fighter, and Melissa has a lot of testicular fortitude, and which means she's got big balls. So she's going into the girl's backyard and wants to fight, man. I can present the fights. They can tell me if they want it, they don't want it. I can give my opinion, and at the end of the day, if they're not putting herself in too much danger, then I'm gonna have to go with it.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. She's got to go to Tijuana for that one, right?
Yeah, man, we gotta fly into San Diego and cross the border, mama. Yeah.
But let me finish giving you some props here because I don't know what happened to this girl, but I'm excited whenever she does come back. Hopefully you're not going to tell me that she's retired and has a family now, but I'm not going to butcher her name, but they call her like Baby Tyson. She's trains up in Albany.
Yo,
No, Brian. Why are you making that face?
Brother, that girl is an utter nightmare. She's a nightmare. She's a nightmare to deal with. She's a nightmare to put in fights. She's I'm sorry, my language.
So she's not accepting fights?
She's a nightmare. She's a nightmare. She's just a nightmare, man. Like, she got thrown out of the gym that she was in. Then I guess her old manager took a hold of her Instagram account. She was sparring with Bumgardner. She's a nightmare, man. Otherwise, like you said, like, I would have the match.
I interviewed Bumgardner, and she said she was great work for that fight. What fight she said she got it ready for?
I don't even remember.
Oh, ain't terrible.
Yeah, I know it wasn't the Christina fight because truth be told, my name is coming off of there soon. I sold her contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got rid of her contract. And like I said, it's just, if I can't vibe with a fighter, I can't, I just can't deal with you, man. Like I have fighters that call me if they have guy problems, rent problems, any kind of problems. I'm supposed to be open enough that you can call me. Her, I just, yo, I can't. I just can't deal with it. Just can't deal with it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, the next one that I'm excited about and making a lot of waves is Liana Cruz.
Woo. Woo, that's my boxing daughter. That's what me and my wife call her. That's our boxing daughter. That girl is a star. That girl is special. We got presented a fight to fight Jasmine Artiga on the upcoming show in September, but she's not an opponent, in my opinion, man. She's a main eventer, and I don't need to throw her to somebody in her hometown just to make a quick payday or a quick dollar off of her because she doesn't deserve it, man. That girl deserves to be in the spotlight. That girl's going to be a star. Trust me.
Nah, she definitely has the look. She fights like it. She takes the time to do, nice ring outfits. Yeah,
So
you got some big names, man. Go ahead.
so you think she's ready to be main eventing already? 6-0.
I mean, 4-0.
I
His
mean,
other fighter, Ebony Bridges, went for a title shot.
Well, no. I'm
yeah.
just yeah. I feel like Ebony definitely, had a larger audience.
I mean, larger Instagram following.
Well,
At the
if you go
time,
back,
at the time of Ebony's fight, she just had a following on Instagram for selling socks, bro. I do this shit for a living. I'm on top of her.
100%.
I'm on top of
100%.
her.
And don't be on top of her now. That's my fighter. No. So she was living with us at the time because she couldn't get
What?
back. Yeah, she lived with us because she couldn't, that was during COVID, so she couldn't go back to
I seen
Australia.
her
So
training in Philly. I didn't know she was living with you. Okay, so you're a
yeah,
good
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, man. So I opened my house up to some of these fighters, man, because in the women's game, they don't have money for the Airbnbs and to do all this other crazy, crazy stuff, man. So I built an apartment for fighters,
Mm.
in my house, so that you know what I'm saying. It's just totally secluded, So she was here for during COVID. She couldn't get back to Australia. She was here for 7 months.
Wow.
So yeah, man. But
That stepped
listen,
her game up though, because I seen your wife working with her a lot, sparring with her, and then she won a bunch of fights.
Yeah, yeah. And let me tell you something, man. I would leave for the gym early in the morning because I would go train a couple people and then they would come and I'd leave the house, everything be good, and then that would be a sparring day and they would work. Yo, man, it looked like somebody broke somebody's favorite glass the way that they would go at each other. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It was really good work. And to me, I think Eb looked the best while she was here. She has some trainers in the UK, which, I think she has another one. But I love Eb. Eb always said I'm her best trainer. So it's like, when it comes to women's boxing, I used to have to do it all. Train, manage. I do the cuts in the corners for the fighters, and I don't charge them, to do cuts and things like that. You know what I mean? So I've been doing it since I was a kid. I started, boxing when I was 8 years old. So I've been around this game for a minute.
What's the latest and greatest with Ebony? We haven't seen her obviously since the rematch with Shannon Courtney.
Right. So
Or
she
Shannon
left her
O'Connell.
trainer. Yeah, so she had a hand injury. She had to get, I think it was part of her hip put in her hand, or you know what I
Damn.
mean, some Mr. Potato Head move that they did, put one part on with another. So she was recovering from that. She left her trainer, which was Mark Tibbs, and I think she moved to a whole other section of England. And I think she's trying to adjust to her new trainer right now. And I actually have to give her a call today to
Who's
check.
the new guy?
This guy Dave, I'm really not familiar
Codwell?
with him. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow. Okay, he used
yeah,
to train Derek Chisora.
yeah. That's right. So she's been working with him, and again, man, training Derek Chisora and training Ebony Bridges is like
Two
having a
different
cat.
things. He
Yeah.
also
So
had he also had David Hay though. I'm pretty sure he had David Hay for a couple fights or one or two fights, something like that.
right. So you got to remember too,
But that's
that's
another
heavyweight.
heavyweight.
That's heavyweights, right? So, but that doesn't mean that he's not knowledgeable and he doesn't, he can't contribute to Eb's arsenal or toolbox. To be fair. So I just don't know how it's going because I haven't really spoken to her in a minute. So, but it's nothing. We don't have no beef. It's just sometimes she's a little busy and I'm ripping. I just got back from Alaska, so
So
Alaska.
yeah.
yeah, I forgot you told me that when I was trying to lock you in.
What you recruiting a fighter out there?
Hey man, there's some. No, actually, we're going to sponsor. Me and my wife are going to sponsor this guy. His name is Thomas. He does strongman competitions. But we were out there for her job. We went on a little getaway to get to know Alaska. So we went to 3 different parts. We went to Anchorage, we went to Nome, and we went to Kotzebue. And she
Okay.
killed some salmon. She went fly fishing. We hung out. It was nice.
Brian, man, baby steps here. That first, that first contract. Who helped you with that? Because what were you doing before that? Before you were a boxing manager?
I was boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay. Were
boxing.
you a pro?
I was 15-2 with 14 knockouts. I won
Oh
the
shit.
WBC Continental title. Yeah, and I pretty much managed myself. My dad was a boxing manager. He had guys. Well, actually, he's being inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame on the end of the month. Buster Drayton, he was the IBF former junior middleweight champion. He had Philly guys like Anthony Witherspoon, Tyrone Crawley, Gary Hinton. He managed a lot of local guys here in Philly. So I've been in the boxing gym since I was a baby, man. Like I remember I was a little kid having to sit on, guys doing sit-ups feet. You know what I mean? So I've been around boxing my entire life. That's all I've done.
In terms
So
of manager, though, any mentors, or you just jumped in it 2 feet in and learned on your own?
my dad, I would listen to my dad, but my dad is an old school, he's the punch you in the face real quick type of old school type of guy, man. And in this day and age, you can't do none of that crazy stuff. I paid attention a lot. There was a matchmaker, I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, named Johnny Boz. Johnny Boz was if anybody who remembers boxing back in like the 80s and 90s, man, he was probably one of the smartest matchmakers you ever wanted to meet. Like he match made the guy by the name of Joey Gamach to a title, and
Wait,
you
Joey
know
Gamach is the trainer of Odo Wallin.
right.
And he
So
helped
so
Tio win the Vasil Lomachenko fight.
And to be fair, I wish Joey would be back with Tio because I think Joey is a great trainer. I think Joey is an excellent trainer. But yeah, Joey was what? Joey was from like Lewiston, Maine or something like that. And what fighter comes out of Lewiston, Maine? And the guy, Johnny Boz, like I said, man, I pay attention. I paid attention. Even when I was boxing and fighting on cards, I just paid attention. And I had access to a lot of great managers and a lot of great trainers. So I always just paid attention. Like I said, I would hear my dad, but I have to filter some things out because it wouldn't fly today or back when I started managing. But I always just really paid attention.
Have you ever signed a male? And if not, why not? Why do you only have a roster of females?
Mm. Excuse me. So no, I used to have males as well. I used to have a
Okay.
lot of the guys that fought in the Golden Gloves in New York. I had a kid. He was a hell of a prospect named Steven Martinez. He won the Golden Gloves multiple times in New York. Luis Cruz. I had Edgar
Yeah,
Santana.
did Steven become a pro and fight on top
Yo,
rank cards?
so Steven, yeah,
Okay.
Steven was, yeah. And I love Steven. You know what I'm saying? It just got to the point where, Steven got a job and he got a real good plumbing job, which, he has a family he had to take care of. And, sometimes that dedication comes from the gym, goes away from the gym more towards the job. And you start training only when you have a fight. And that doesn't work. It's basically like, like Mike Tyson said, you start becoming civilized. When you start becoming civilized, you lose that hunger. You lose a little bit. And like I said, then I had Edgar Santana. Nobody wanted to touch Edgar Santana when he came out of jail. I had him to an NABO title. I had Cornelius Locke at one time. Cornelius Locke fought Mikey Garcia. I did have guys. I have a guy right now, actually, Josephat Ortiz,
Oh,
from
okay,
Philly.
from Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
What's up?
don't
When did
not.
you get with him? Because man, I've been knowing Josephat for a minute now. He's going
Yeah.
slow.
Well, he signed. He signed to DeBella, so I
Uh,
have to go with a promoter's pace. To be fair, right?
yeah.
He fought. He caught that L, and then he switched trainers. So now he's being trained by Wahid Rahim, who I know from when I. Oh, I'm sorry. I used to train Eric Hunter too. Outlaw
Okay.
from
I
Philly.
know Eric Hunter.
Yeah, so I knew Wahid through Outlaw, and now Josephat trains with Wahid, which Wahid is a great trainer, man, and he was always a student of the game, and I like him because he's kind of old school like myself, man. When you're old school, that means like you follow like a kind of a chain of command, meaning like I don't overstep my bound when it comes to training. You know what I'm saying? Like if I think the fight is good, I bring it to Wahid. Wahid will bring it back to me, and you know what I mean. That sort of thing. And I think it's starting to lose. Boxing is starting to lose that today. You know what I'm saying? Like you got matchmakers and promoters hitting your fighter up on Instagram or Facebook, or it's just mad disrespectful. You know what I mean? If you know the fighter, my name is connected to my fighters. Just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's mad disrespectful. I just that's like one of my pet
So
peeves.
you go through that often? Your fighters
Yeah,
being contact, because I thought that was illegal. I mean, we see Leonard Ellerby come out on Twitter and tell Eddie Hearn every day that that's illegal to contact his fighters.
it is. It's actually torturous interference and collusion. But if you look at Leanne's some of her posts, you'll see people. Oh, you got to get you in the bare knuckle fighting and contact me. So that was one of the quote unquote female matchmakers for bare knuckle boxing, and I know personally David Feldman. So I called David up. I'm like, "Yo, David, can you shut this down for me?" Oh, sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, so but I know, obviously David from Philly. I actually fought on a card that his brother promoted, Damon. Yeah. So yeah.
So, just so people know, we stopped at Liana Cruz. The
Mm.
next big name, obviously
Wait a minute, wait a minute,
Jessica.
wait a minute. Hold on. To your point with the Leanna Cruz thing, when my man asked me if do I think she's ready to main event, I had a girl. You look her up. Her name is Alicia Napoleon. She main evented at
Oh,
5-0.
damn, that was yours too,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. I still have her.
But how do you do that? How is it that you got all the top names? It don't make. It's like you got a monopoly, and I don't mean to disrespect, but it's like you got all the
No.
good females.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's how I treat people, man. I treat people like I treat, especially females, man. That's somebody's daughter. That might be somebody's mother. That's somebody's aunt. I treat them with respect. You know what I'm saying? And they feel comfortable with me because I I believe in karma, right? If God forbid, if I'm not here, I would love for somebody to take care of my daughter the way I'm taking care of people. And literally, I don't advertise. Come get managed by me. It's all word of mouth type of things. You know what I mean? But to that point, Napoleon 5-0. She fought for the WBC silver, and she main evented in I think it was Queens, New York.
So is she done? Because it's like after her loss and marriage and child, she's like you said, domesticated. You know,
Right.
is she
So
done?
no, she's actually training. Her weight's down. You know, when you have a baby, you know what I mean, you start eating and doing all that other crazy stuff. Her weight is down, and I believe that we're going to put her on a card October, it's either 26th or 27th. I think it's the 26th, which is a Thursday in Hell's Kitchen in New York at Sony Hall. So she's ready to fight again. And she should be able to jump right back into it because there's,
At 60 or 68?
nah, that's too big for her. And I've said that to her before. And the only reason why she fought for the 68 title because that was the only one that was available at the time. And when she would fight for that title, I would always do a catch weight of like 61 or 62 because she's not a 68 pounder. So she's going to start at 54. But I would love for her to go down to 47 if possible.
Damn, fight with her and Mariciela Cornejo would be good. Mariciela's at 47 now.
Yeah. They were supposed to fight back in the day. They had some beef, some issues, I don't know. Maricela posted some sparring things back in the day. So I would welcome that fight. I love Maricela. I think she did a hell of a job stepping in against Clarissa, but that's the WBC's favorite fighter. So
Hell yeah.
you know
But
what I
I
mean?
mean, you know her managers. Let me shut up.
Who's her manager?
Never mind.
Nah, come on now. No, you can't do that.
Ryan. So
Huh.
let me ask you. So with
No, who's the
Leanna,
manager?
so with Leanna, right?
Nancy. I
Oh,
believe Nancy is, right? That's who I see represent her all the time.
I mean that's the thing. If you just go back and which is fine, man. It's
But
there's
I mean,
all
to be fair, that's like you getting a job now with the WBC or the WBO or any sanctioning body for that matter, like Nancy was working with her before she got her position with the WBC. So, it's like you too, right? Like if you get picked up by ESPN, motherfucker, you better make it easier for me over here.
But how long was she? How long did she have that job with the WBC?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I've been knowing Nancy at least 13 years.
Okay.
Somewhere in
So
that time, she went from just doing what she was doing to now also working with the WBC.
so when she fought when Maricela fought Kaylee in New Zealand, Nancy was with her. So that's a minute ago, right? So
Damn.
she's been fighting for WBC titles way back when. You know what I'm saying? So which, like I said, man, listen, if you got that little,
But to be fair, so is Melissa Hernandez. Between you and Sarafina, I don't think no girl in history got more title shots than Melissa Hernandez.
So I think I got Melissa. What she had one of and at the time the WIBA was that was that was a highly recognized title. She had a WBA something or another title, and she fought for one more title with me too. When Sarafina got her, I mean, let's be honest, and Sarafina works with me now, so I can't say too much because I don't want to get that phone call from Sarafina because that shit could
Shout
be
out to
bad
her.
venom.
Congratulations. I'm happy that she got a job.
Yeah,
I've been seeing her do her thing, without help from a big manager like you and Split T for a while.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I kind of love working with her. She's feisty. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Everybody knows how feisty she is, but she's very teachable. And like if you say things to her and it makes sense, she listens. So I kind of love working with her. Like we just signed that girl over to Split T.
Brown is the
Tierra
one.
Brown.
Tierra Brown. That's the one I was going to next.
Yeah.
Elham, no, the girl Elham, the girl
Yeah,
from
I
France.
seen that as well.
Right, so she had her, and she didn't want to sign, so we got creative with the contract and things like that. And she moved her over, so it's like I said, by the time Sarah got Melissa Hernandez, Melissa's a little past her prime. She's a little past her sell by date, which is fine. You know what I mean? She just lost to my other girl, Carla Torres.
But
Melissa.
that's why I value what Sarah does, because like you said, by the time she got her hands on Melissa, she shouldn't have been getting a title shot, and somehow she still put it. I think it was a Katie Taylor fight. What was that?
Chantel Cameron in Vegas.
That's big as how the fuck, man.
That was on the I think on the Haney Linares,
Bruh,
Haney
then,
JoJo.
Then she got Bamba, one of the influencers. I was like, how are you doing that shit?
Yeah.
That
Yo,
dude,
Sarah.
Paul Bamba.
Yeah, yo, Sarah's a hustler, yo.
Nah,
like she's a hustler.
Bruh,
She's a hustler.
look.
And not in a bad way. I don't mean that negative. Like she hustles. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't she put Dominic Wade in the I don't know. I don't want to give her credit for that. She might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought she put Dominic Wade in that Triple G fight a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, listen, man. Sarah's a hustler, man. I'm glad that she works with us now. A lot of people, everybody gonna say something about somebody, right? Everybody gonna say something about me, something about her. Somebody's gonna have something negative to say, regardless. But I love working with her, man. She's real. She's real. She's real. Sarah's real. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But
Brian, but I did want to, before we move too far past and I forget. So with Leanna, you would main it. No.
Who you got for Leanna? No, he trying to match make. What's going on?
Nah, bro, because he mentioned who'd you mention that was 5-0? That was headlining. Alicia Napoleon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he mentioned how specifically she was headlining local. So I was gonna ask, is Leanna gonna be in Allentown or in the PA area specifically?
She does the 2300 arena, right?
Yeah, so she does the 2300 arena, which we're probably we're gonna bring her back November 10th to fight. Hopefully, I can get her for like a little NABF title, but she'll be the co-main event to Sonny Kanto. And then, like I said, man, she's a great ticket seller. That
is
fight
Kanto,
on
I'm sorry, is he still with Top Rank?
Yeah, Sonny signed with Top Rank.
Wow.
Yeah, Sonny signed with Top Rank. I think he has a few more years left with them. And and again, I've known Sonny since man, he wasn't even a Bronco. He was a little mini horse, right? He was about 120 little pounds, skinny little kid in the gym. So with Split T, I mean, I deal with him a lot. Actually, we have a camp house in New Jersey. It's a 50-acre camp house. It has a little mansion part where it's a beautiful house. It has saltwater pool, but also we converted a horse arena. It's about 8,000 square foot to a boxing gym. Like it's state of the art. Everything is state of the art there. And on the facility, we converted a horse barn to living quarters for sparring partners. So he's going to start camp there on Monday for November 10th.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't just, and that's the thing. I organize a lot of that construction and things like that happened at that house because my background was in construction at one point as well. So, yeah, I'm not just, I wear many hats. I wear many hats.
For sure. So
Yeah.
Tierra Brown, bro, she's been like I don't want to give her the boots tag because I already gave that to Shadazy Green, but she's certainly this unsigned talent that now got
Yeah.
signed, this dark horse that everybody thinks can beat everybody in the division. How difficult is it going to be to get her fights? Because, cool, she got a manager now, but can you get her fights?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she was signed to a manager that really, in my opinion, was inadequate for her. Meaning, buying fights in at fucking El Pollo Loco in some obscure country did nothing for her. It didn't move the needle at all. You know what I mean? In her last three or four fights, did nothing for her.
I mean,
Now,
two of those were no star fights. What the hell?
no star fights, and that doesn't get you nowhere. And I like to use the phrase where a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't play checkers, I play chess." I don't play either because I play Monopoly, right? So Monopoly meaning, motherfucker, you're gonna land on my boardwalk eventually, right? And I think she's about Tierra's about at the 4 yard line. All she needs is a little screen pass to get into that end zone, and I'm here to throw that to her. To
Ness
be
don't
honest
know
with you.
shit about football,
I don't.
but
I only
I
watch this sport.
understood. I understood everything you saying, but Brian, sometimes when you right there, you just hand the ball to Marshawn, just like hand it off, right? Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking.
you
So
handed to Marshawn at the 4 yard line. You guaranteed. You're right.
I may not
You're right.
know football, but I know these women, and I'm very happy you signed Miss Brown. I mean, I lived in Florida for a little bit, and she's a officer out there in Fort Myers. She trains at a gym I used to visit, and she just needs that opportunity, man. I've been hearing only good things about her, and seeing, I got to see her spar once, and man, I'm excited to see what she can do on that high level. See if that power is real too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you too. And to be fair, a lot of these females have PTSD from signing with managers, right? So me and Tierra, I've known Tierra for years, and her and I spoke about me managing her quite a few times, right? Then she signed with Luigi, the guy that has Maureen Shea. Yeah, I know, yeah. That's exactly how
How
I
though?
feel
But
about her.
Marie Shea ain't for. I mean, you talking about the girl from New York, right?
Yeah, the girl from New York who has over 30 fights and never won a world title.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
yeah.
has,
Yo, but
the
she
only
made her
other.
name. Look, she was great at marketing. Let's be real. She made a name for herself, like you said. Without a world title, I know her. The boxing
Hmm.
public knows her. Didn't she
Hmm.
get Isn't her nickname $1 Million Baby or some shit?
Yeah, because I think she trained Hillary Swank for the
Yeah,
car,
for the movie.
for the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, for
She
the movie, right?
capitalized off that little movie.
Right, right, right. So if you look at it, man, a guy like Luigi, he didn't have to do much with her because, like you just say, you knew her,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she didn't win a world title. The only other two really world champions he had was Alicia Ashley, who, she's a legend. I ain't going, I'm not going to knock that, but I don't think really he had anything to do with it. And he had Jennifer Hahn at one point, she had the IBF title, which she never really made a dime with Luigi. Again, checkers, chess, Monopoly, right? The most money she made is when she left Luigi and fought Katie Taylor, obviously, right? So whatever Tierra's reason and whatever Luigi said for those two getting together for a year or 4 fights or whatever the contract was, hey, more power to him. But he couldn't do shit for her. He'll never be able to do shit for her. And I think he's a shit manager.
Mm. Well, since we talking about managers, I mean, you came in shooting shots at Rick Ramos. What's the beef there?
I don't like when you talk about females, right?
What
I
exactly?
don't
In
like.
what way? What do you mean?
So I don't like when you do, like, if you never got in the ring or never got punched in the face or never got hit with a body shot that makes you want to piss your pants, or the next morning you ain't waking up and your nose is sore and your jaw is realigned. Don't talk shit. Leave it to the females to talk shit. Don't talk shit about my wife. Don't talk shit about Mary McGee. Don't talk shit about any of my fighters. When you do that, you get smacked in the face, and that's what happened to him when I ran into him in England. He got smacked in the face.
What?
Oh yeah, this is
I mean,
not
you
an
do
urban
look
legend.
cocky. I've been doing my research. You do look like you fucking bodybuilding
Hold up,
shit.
hold up, hold up, hold up. What happened, Brian?
So we
I
were
mean, he said he
in.
talked about his wife. So I mean, obviously it's some personal shit.
Well, you're talking about, but it's not even that. Like, don't disrespect my fighters. Don't, like, I go hard for my fighters. I, like, again, it's not just we signed a contract. You're with me. That's the end of it. If you talk shit about my fighters, yeah, it might be business, but I take it personal because, again, I'm gonna reiterate the fact that's somebody's mother. That could be that's somebody's daughter, obviously. Don't talk shit about them if you can't
You
fight.
think he gonna deny this? Holy shit.
Oh no, you can patch him in.
No, I'm saying you think he'll deny it?
Oh, no, because he posted it that he got punched in the face. I think I got the screenshot of one of his little
Oh
Twitter joints.
shit.
I'll send it to you.
When
It's
when
somewhere.
when was this?
But what did he say?
Uh,
Because honestly, you gonna hate this. He gonna hate this. But I see Ramos as like the next you, bro. Like who else got that many females? And he doing his thing to come out of nowhere. Let's give him some credit. He came out of nowhere. He got an undisputed champ. He signed a bunch of females. He got the pop in his gym in Chicago, right? Am I lying?
I
Uh-oh,
mean,
Danny.
that's like getting a free bowl of soup at the soup kitchen. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, look at the females he signed and look where they fight and look who they fight. It doesn't mean when you manage a fighter and you try to position them in the best way, uh, fighting fights in fucking Boise, Idaho, or fighting fights in Kalamazoo, that doesn't do anything for a fighter. Fighting against 1 in 29 Karen Doolan's of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does nothing for your fighters. So he signed a bunch of fighters.
I
So
mean,
what? Rick Ramos. We'll call Rick Ramos my stunt double because he's trying to marry his fighter too. We'll call him my stunt double. So
but Brian, hold up. Yo, this guy's a comedian. Yo, but hold on, Brian. And I'm a Chicago guy. I'm gonna throw that out there. But yo, I was following Jessica before her and Rick was even a thing, right? Like I've been
yeah.
following Jessica. You can't tell me that those bullshit fights don't get you nowhere. It got her undisputed. Now, granted, it took for Rick to talk a lot of fucking shit to be able to get a Katie Taylor opportunity. And then, more opportunities came from that. But yo, she was fighting at the fucking Horseshoe in Hammond, Indiana.
Well, you have to. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere. I'm not saying that in your third or fourth fight, you fighting. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting a fucking world champion or ex world champion. Although I've done that with O'Shea Jones, but we can get to that later in her second fight.
That's another one I
But
forgot, bro. You got so many. I don't
right,
get it
right.
though. That's crazy.
So, and I appreciate the fact that you're from Chicago, but like, I just with
No, I
Rick,
get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying.
yeah,
You're just saying if that's all you fight, then that's not gonna get you anywhere. I get
no,
it. I thought you were
it's
just
not
saying
like
like at all, like if you get those kind of fights at all.
What's your thoughts on
no,
Summer Lynn that just turned to a
I'm pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say she walked.
firefighter, but he had her to what 7-0. She couldn't get the TV fight she needed, and she walked away from the sport.
I think it's unfortunate, and I think that he sells these women a dream that they'll be fighting on the zone and they'll be fighting here and be fighting there. But listen, man, I've been to Eddie Hearn's house. I know how Eddie feels about him and the rest of things like that, right? I'm just not the dude to post pictures with Eddie, in the car with Eddie. Like, to me, he just does a lot of shit to hustle people, but you can't hustle a real motherfucker that knows the game. And I know the game inside. I could, whatever I forgot yesterday, he'll never know. He'll honestly never know. Like, and for
Is
him
there a
to
fight?
aspire,
Is there a
Huh?
fight that could be made to settle this? I mean, this just sound like
Oh
some.
yeah, I tried to make it. Bobby Hits. I contacted Bobby Hits.
So
So
what fight
Bobby
you
Hits is
want?
I wanted to fight Rick. What you mean?
Oh
Oh
shit!
shit,
I'm thinking you talking about one of
bro!
your
What the
females.
fuck? So
What
you
you
called
mean? Yeah.
Bobby? You called Bobby trying to make a fight between you and
And then
Rick?
Bobby called me, and yo, my thing is, listen, he
So
could pick
did
the
Rick turn
charity.
it? Did you send him a contract or something?
Bobby tried to get a hold of him, and then I don't know what happened. But yo, listen, I'll put this out here. And yo, I won't train one day for that fight. I'll donate whatever is raised to whatever charity anybody wants, just so I could beat his ass again. So I'm gonna tell you what happened in England. I was sitting in the booth. It was media day. We were announcing a 140-pound tournament. So I had Mary McGee there. I had my wife there. Jessica Camara was running a little late, and he had talked shit about this whole tournament. And I think it was when Katie Taylor. I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was the day before Katie Taylor was fighting Jennifer Hahn. It was on that card because there was a lot of people. Oh,
Bro,
damn, what's
where
that
is
guy?
Rick at? Rick
Yo,
usually in
yo,
the
Pat,
chat too. That's crazy. Where
yo,
Rick?
patch him in because
Nah, he's MIA.
yo, patch him in because if you bring him up here and he denies it, I'll catch a flight to what's his face and smack the shit out of him again. So I'm sitting there
Jesus.
talking to Eddie. I'm sitting there talking to Eddie and my wife, and so my wife goes, "Oh, yeah, there goes your boy," and I didn't see him. I was like, "Oh," so I put my phone on the table, and Eddie said to my wife, "Where's he going?" He was like, "This is not going to be good." She said, "This is not going to be good, Eddie." So following him, he went up to go the wrong stairway. He came back down. He looked at me. He was like, "Oh, what's up?" and put his hand out. I was like, "Yo, I'm
Oh
not going to shake your
shit.
hand." Yeah. So he had his right hand out, and I'm looking him face to face, and I smacked him with my left hand. And he says he took, stumbled backwards, dropped his little stupid papers and whatever he had in his hand, and he says, "That's assault. I'm calling the police." And the motherfucker called the police on me.
In
So that's
England?
what happened. Yeah.
What happened?
So Eddie came to me. He said, "Mate," he said, "What are you doing?" He was like, but he was like,
Oh man. Go
to
ahead.
be
I'm
fair,
sorry.
and that's why, like, I know the real feelings about him from the people in Matchroom because a lot of the people, executives, you know what I'm saying, were happy I did it. Right? So the cops came and they just told me I can't smack nobody no more while I'm in England. So I said,
Yo,
no
that's the
problem.
beauty of England. They don't mind a couple of bar fights, bro. It's crazy. Over
Mm-mm.
here, you'll get
No, then
arrested for that.
right.
Brian,
Then the security, I'm really good with all the Matchroom security. So I think Jessica was there, so she was going to call out Katie Taylor during the press conference. And I just told the Matchroom security, I said, yo, just give me 7-second head start if they start talking shit about Katie. And then, yeah, but he never said nothing, and Jessica never showed up to the press conference. And that's fact. That's fact. I could tell the same story over and over because I'm not lying.
I want to show you something here. Let me see where
Brian,
is
I'm curious. Were you southpaw or orthodox?
he's
I
southpaw. He
used to
smacked him with the left.
No.
I could
But when he
switch. I
fought,
used to. No, so I was ambidextrous when I was younger, so I could
What's
write with my
listed
right and
on your
left hand.
box rack?
well, nothing. That's what I'm
Orthodox,
asking.
baby, but there ain't nothing orthodox about me.
I wanted to show you this.
Yeah, I
Can you?
can't see that shit. You
No,
see
let me
my
zoom.
glasses? How big
Let me
they are,
zoom in.
bro?
Let me zoom in. I zoomed in now. This is Serrano on her Instagram story responding to an interview that Rick Ramos did where she says, with all due respect, Rick Ramos, he is incorrect on this one. I could care less about Katie Taylor. I'm past her. I'm actually making more money than any other female boxer today, including Katie. So I don't really need her. I want to stop there because I'm almost calling Kat. Is she really making more than Katie and Clarissa? And obviously, you being a manager, you should know.
Yeah, she's getting paid really well. Listen, man, a
Wow.
lot of people think that me and Jordan have beef, which we just had two
Jordan
really
is
good
her
fighters.
husband,
Trainer.
manager, trainer.
Yeah. Manager,
Husband.
trainer. Yeah. Hey, man,
Hey,
listen. You know
wait
what
a
I
minute.
mean?
Wait a minute. How do you not like that, but you did it first?
No, I
Cause
didn't.
look, he just made him. He made fun of Rick. He's like, yeah, he trying to marry his fighter. Now you laughing at Jordan.
Well, then I'll be Jordan's stunt double. You know what I mean? But no. I think Jordan is supposed to be with Cindy. I don't know anything. I'm just commenting on, the job that Jordan did.
So I got the wrong. Okay, I thought.
You over here being
Yeah.
messy,
No,
man.
yeah. So Jordan and I, man, obviously he had Amanda, and I had a girl by the name of Ronica Jeffrey at the time, and Ronica, if nobody knows her,
I
she was
know her.
probably one of the most rounded female fighters that I've ever seen. Ever, 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 ever. I don't care about no. If she was around, she beat Katie Taylor. She would. Ronica was one of my favorite females to watch, just in general, right? And there was a little professional beef here and there, but I don't have no beef with Jordan. I think he did a great job with Amanda. He got her to a lot of titles. He did what a manager's supposed to do. He played Monopoly.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Well, I still have a bunch of questions from the people. Those are all mine, but I'm going to go out to the people and see if they have anything. We do have a couple of posts for you. Danny, if you have anything while I get to that.
Come on, Danny. Shoot your shot. Go ahead.
Yo, I mean, you just said a lot that the shit I did have, I had a couple on tuck. You definitely threw me off, man. You definitely threw me off with the Rick just news to me. I honestly
Well, in the meantime, which
didn't
one
know.
was it? Which fight was it that made you, and were you already with your wife? Which one was it that made you guys decide, let's go all in. Let's keep signing more women.
So it was she, because she would always do camps here in Philadelphia, and like I said, she quarantined here, and we never did nothing. We never even gave that close hug, never kissed, never nothing the whole time I managed her. But it was after the Candy Wyatt fight. It was after the Candy Wyatt fight. She fought. She won the WBA title. The next night, I flew to South Carolina for a Christy Martin card where we had Tika Hemingway fighting. And then Kaylee came back to the house, and I think it was November 11th. I can tell you the day it was. It was November 11th, and just something was different in camp. It was just a different type of vibe. And she's sitting on the couch. She was like, "Yo, you said you had something to tell me." And I said, "Yo," I said, I love you." She says, "I love you too." And then that was it. And then 14, 15 days later, I asked her mother and her brother for a hand in marriage at Thanksgiving, and then we got married a year later, November 27th. So that's how it happened.
That's amazing, but I was asking which fight was it that made you guys decide, let's go all in on the managing aspect?
I mean, so
Dude,
you mean
because
me
there's
and her?
nobody like you. Like, truth be told, I don't know another even male manager that has this many fighters, unless we're gonna compare you to Al and call you an advisor. So I'm,
Right.
I'm trying to figure out, when did you start investing in your managing business? Because I mean, you just have a lot of big names.
It was honestly, man, it was back in the day when I had Melissa Hernandez. It was way before I started managing Kaylee, right? It was, so I had Melissa Hernandez first, then I had Ronica Jeffrey, and then it just kind of snowballed. Then I got Alicia Napoleon, then I got a girl by the name of Jennifer Santiago, and it just started building. Then I started getting all the girls from New York, Keisha McLeod Wells, and it was centralized mainly to New York. And then,
But
Melissa
how
St.
long
Ville.
ago was this? Because women's boxing, that's my thing. It wasn't jumping. So like, what made you keep giving out contracts? How'd you know it was finally gonna pop off?
Oh, man, and there's a lot of people. That's a great question. I just felt that eventually it's going to catch on. I mean, I just had a feeling. I mean, it's one of those things, man. You just have a feeling, and I just had a feeling. And even if it didn't catch on, I'm gonna be honest with you. In my heart of hearts, I always, for as bad as some of these female athletes got treated, I felt good knowing that, in making them and helping them make them a world champion, nobody would ever be able to take that away from them. So it really wasn't seeing that long vision 10, 12 years down the line. It was honestly that tunnel vision right there and then to make them a world champion, so nobody can take that away from them ever. Whether they have a kid next week, next month, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can ever take that away from them. So I just really, that was my main reason, that, and again, having a daughter.
I got knockouts with Nika that says, why did Melissa pull out of the Metcalf fight the first time? It was scheduled days before. Just curious.
Sure. So there was a promotional issue. There was just a problem with the promoter. That was all. It was more of a paperwork issue than anything else. It wasn't so much Melissa being scared, or Sharita being scared. Sharita, I'll be honest with you, Sharita has been a professional through this whole process. Melissa was professional through the whole process. It was just a glitch in the paperwork in one of the promoters, contracts. That's all. It really that's the best way to describe it without saying too much.
Frank Steyer from Top Rank. Brian Cohen is an awesome, solid dude.
Frank is my man. He works for Top Rank, and as you know, Split T, I think we got like 14 or 15 guys signed with Top Rank, and I was the one from Split T that was going through the bubble the whole time, so I spent a lot of time with Frank. And Frank is a South Philly dude, man. His family lives around the corner here.
Oh yeah, I know Frank from back in the day from ATG, bro, when he was doing podcasts.
Yeah,
He's
Frank
the
is a
one
good dude.
introduced me to Fury. He did that undefeated show. It was Fury versus Derek Chisora on his podcast.
Okay,
Many years
Bro,
ago.
you know he still claims to this day he was like they were never on the same show.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
But
I know that's how I found him.
Right, that's how you remember him for sure.
But last question from Ruin 504 New Orleans. He says, what will it take to make women's boxing more relevant?
I think it's growing legs every day, man. There's still some people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish Al Heyman would get on board. To be fair, so I really wish that every promotional company would get on board and don't see them as just another like a female fight and this, that, and the third. They're real athletes, man, and 8 times out of 10, they're the most exciting fights on the card. Bar none. You know what I mean? I just wish that a lot more promoters would invest into them the way I've invested my time and resources over the years, because you will see they grow a hell of a fan base. Like Leanna Cruz, man, getting back to her fan base is incredible. You go there like O'Shea Jones, she just fought in overtime. There was so many people there to see O'Shea, and that was in Atlanta. She's from Ohio. It's amazing. So a lot of these promoters should get behind them, and because they don't think there's money in women's boxing. There's a lot of money in women's boxing. You just gotta know how to get it and be patient.
Brian, women's boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you see as the face of it? Like, who do you think put boxing on television? And can that credit be given to two, or should it be given to two separate people? Like, I like to believe, like, obviously Clarissa has put American boxing on her back for women, but you got to give Katie Taylor some credit, right, for what she's been able to do and how globally she's done it. Like, we could give Clarissa all the credit, but is Katie putting on the bigger show, or am I wrong?
So again, you have to go back to the Christy Martins. You got to go back to the Ann Wolves. You got to go back to the Layla Ali's. You got to go back to the pioneers, Belinda Laraquente. You got the Melissa Hernandez's. You got to go back then. They were on TV. A lot of people don't know that. Then a lot of people think that it's a miracle that Serrano's fighting, 3 12-minute rounds. That was done already in the 80s. They fought 15 rounds one time, 3 minutes.
No. She fighting 12 3-minute rounds, not 3 12-minute rounds. That's some barbaric shit right there.
Yeah, that is barbaric shit. You're right.
Hey, that's doghouse rules right there.
Floyd,
you ain't lying about that shit. You're right. Thanks for the correction. Shit. But it's been done before, right? So back in the day, they fought 3-minute rounds. 15 rounds. Females fought that before. And Sue Fox has that up on her website. But modern day, I mean, it kind of started with Katie Taylor. Clarissa is kind of neck and neck, man. And now I think you got Serrano, rounding the bend, and she's doing a lot of big things for women's boxing. But I mean, I think ultimately, because the stage that Eddie Hearn gave Katie Taylor, you would have to say Katie Taylor right now. And then, in my opinion, Katie, and this is nothing against Clarissa, because I think Clarissa's a hell of a talent. I mean, she's amazing. Anybody you put her in there with, she dominates, right? So I just think it's Katie, Clarissa, Amanda right now. Now, Amanda may take over, but you know what I mean. At what point?
Super duper last one, I swear.
Nah.
You having so many females, WBC has this hard stance on not wanting 3 minute rounds, not wanting 3 minute rounds, 12 round fights. They say that, they've done studies and the neck structure is different from a man, and they just don't want the women taking more punishment than they need to. But you're heavily invested in women's boxing. I've been to the conventions. I see women that want 3 minute rounds. What is your stance?
So I think the first thing to do, right, instead of bumping everything up to 3 minutes, 12, why don't you just? I think a good navigation tool would be going from a title fight, a 12 round title fight, 2 minutes, and then see if there's any ill effects or anybody has any ill effects from that, and then you monitor it for a couple years, then just bump them up to 3 minute 12 3 minute rounds. But with that being said, a female doesn't have that much testosterone in their body like a male, man. They're not going to cause that much damage like a male. They're just not. It's just, you know what I mean. And anyway, a lot of the brain damage and a lot of the effects to the brain and the concussions and a lot of things happen during sparring, not necessarily happening in a fight. A fight obviously will agitate it, but some of these fighters do come into the fight concussed or with a slight bleed in their brain, and fighting in an actual fight without a headgear and bigger gloves obviously will agitate it. But I mean, just bump it to 12 rounds, 2 minutes.
Let
I
me
think you'll be fine.
let me ask you, because you kind of hit it on the head when you said that most of the damage is done in sparring. But bro, I'm in a lot of gyms. I can recall off the top of my head one woman that I've ever seen in my life spar 2 minutes in my
So you
life.
so you should. So if you're going to Rick Ramos's gym, that's probably why. No,
I
I'm just
mean,
messing with
no,
you.
no. We're in Vegas, and yeah,
Yeah.
I have been to Rick's gym, but bro, I've been to gyms all over this country. I've never seen a woman spar a 2 minute round, with the exception of one, and it was actually a fighter that was getting ready to lose to Jessica. But that being said, it's like, bro, we were at the convention, and that was a big issue for me. Hearing a lot of women say, well, I can't fight 3 minute rounds, 12 rounds, because I gotta cook for my kids. And it's like,
Right.
but you cooking for your kids after sparring 12 3 minute rounds, you
Yeah,
know.
some of the women's excuse for no 3 minutes was real weak, bro. It was
Right.
crazy. But look,
I just
I'm not
I,
a
I just
woman.
want
I don't gotta take those
I just
punches.
wanted
So
your thoughts, and obviously you work with fighters, so maybe it is different for your fighters. I'm just
So
curious.
so Ebony was here probably 2 months ago. So I take her to Bosie's gym, the dungeon. Deron Ennis's dad.
I've
He
been
has
to the dungeon. They do 4 minutes there usually.
right, but you got to do a minimum of 4 rounds, 4 minute rounds, 30-second rests. Right. So that's what I have Ebony spar. Ebony got in there, and it's tough, but you do it. But the only time you do, and that's more of a conditioning thing. When I'm training a fighter, maybe 2.5 weeks before a fight, I do cut it to 2 minute rounds during sparring, because you'll get complacent doing 4 minutes, 3 minutes, right? That's more of a conditioning thing, right? You got to let your hands go in 2 minutes. So that's when you start shortening the rounds in training. And any boxing trainer or manager or whatever, advisor, whatever, every female should maybe 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks out, should start fighting 2 minute rounds so they can get their hands off more, because they'll already be in shape to get their hands off more. And you got to
Gotcha.
remember, yeah. So that's what I mean.
So
You can
it's
still
more
do
of
the
a
30-second rest. You can still
it's
do the 30-second rest, but you got to get your hands off. You know what I mean?
Okay,
In
I
those two
got you.
minutes.
I got
Yeah,
you. No,
yeah.
that definitely makes sense, and that's the argument we've heard. Like Ness said, we've been to the conventions. We've heard both sides of it. The women for it and the women against it. But again, from my experiences, most of the, like you said, you go to a gym, if that's what they're doing, that's what you do.
Right.
Um, But Nuss, you got anything else?
That is it, Brian, man. I want to thank you, obviously, for your time and continue to wish you the best of luck in what it is that you're doing. I see you. You don't need it, man. You are the man in this women's boxing management game. And
I
we
appreciate you
thank you for
guys.
your story, brother.
Nah, man, I appreciate you guys. And just let me know when you guys want me back on. We could talk about Christina Linardatu and Alicia Bumgardner.
Wait, that's
I
right.
got
You had a lot to say on your Instagram, bro. You called her a cheater and everything. You don't believe anything because you don't find it strange. The Matchroom has their own testing, and that like I'm paying you to test. So why would you take those test results to anyone else other than the person you're paying that's paying you? Not to mention these test results keep popping up a month, 2 months later. That shit smells fishy, bro.
Hey,
Fishy.
man. Yeah, man. You know, you know, when we sign a contract, it's everything is detailed in the contract. So maybe her management should have did a better job reviewing the contract. That's what
Who's
I
her
could say
manager?
to that. Uh, who knows, man? She got so many.
Nah, she been with the same dude.
Is it
Raynello.
Nelson?
Oh,
Yeah,
Raynello.
No, but he claims
Raynello.
no. But he claims not to be the man. He always claimed not to be the manager. Like
He's the only
so.
face I see there all the time.
Well, that's because he's the only one sticking his big head into the picture. That's why. That's why. So
Bro, you got
I'm gonna
manager
tell.
beef with everybody.
No. I don't. I'm gonna tell you what I got beef with. I'm gonna tell you, then I'll let y'all go. I'll let y'all go. So she was signed to King's Promotions, which is a
Yes.
Pennsylvania-based. Okay. So I had a fighter named Melissa Saintville. Melissa Saintville was offered
From
to
New
fight
York.
with Terry. Correct. Right. So, which she was offered like 6 title fights and just kept turning them down. She'd rather fight in some obscure bingo hall for $3,500, right? So the Terry Harper opponent fell out. So I offered it to Melissa. Melissa, no response. She's not mentally stable to fight. Whatever. So I called Marshall Kaufman, who's the president of King's Promotion. Hey Marshall, can we put is Alicia interested in this fight? Yeah, she's interested in the fight. This, that, and the third. Blah blah blah. So I get all the paperwork together. I get everything together. Do the deal with Eddie. Boom boom boom. She signs a provision of service agreement with me. So provision of service is obviously I have you for a certain amount of time and a certain percentage to your fights, right? Because again, I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? Again, Monopoly, not chess or checkers. She signs it. I got a signed signature with her. I'm happy to share with everybody in the boxing world. And she takes the fight, obviously with Terry Harper, and boom, you see what happens, and then won't honor the agreement, which is fine. Which is fine. But then you go to Nelson. Oh, I'm not her manager. I'm her advisor. I'm not this. I'm not that. It is what it is, man.
But
But
why you don't
now,
just go to
honestly,
court? If you got an
you know,
agreement signed.
you know what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you want to let karma bite you in the ass, and I feel like she got bit in the ass with the Christina thing. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen is there's going to be a civil suit. This is going to be the first civil suit filed against somebody that cheated like this. And we're going to file the suit either in Pennsylvania or New York. And Ms. Bumgarner is going to have to spend some lawyer fees against Ms. Linardatu for cheating the way she cheated. So,
But I mean, don't you have to wait to file some sort of lawsuit like that until she's completely
that's what that's what we're
because there's
doing,
still the
right?
B sample, right? And obviously the process, like it took 9. She peed in a cup
Yeah,
because
you
this
ain't.
ain't even blood. Like she peed in a cup. It took
Yeah.
9 days to get to the testing facility. I mean,
Mm.
this is the strangest case I've ever seen in boxing in 13 years that I've been doing this.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. When you fighting in when you fight in the UK, yo man, the UK they right there, they drawing blood. Everything is official. You're in Detroit. I'm gonna tell you something, and this is nothing to the fighters in Detroit. That commission is the shittiest commission. It was some third world country commission shit. Nobody watched the wrapping of the hands. There was no inspectors. They don't even have a commissioner right now.
So
Like
why is
it's
your lawsuit pointed at Bumgardner and not at the commission?
And isn't Eddie the one that chooses the testing, not the commission? He's the one that pays for it.
Eddie chooses the testing, but that's also in your fight contract. So she's seen who was testing. It wasn't VADA. It wasn't
Right.
anything
I
like
heard
that.
that she wanted VADA though. I
Yeah,
heard she
well,
requested VADA and they gave her this whatever this new company is. Not new because they
then
do football.
Right, but she didn't want to pay for the VADA testing. She wanted the promotion to pay for it. So whatever the promotion opted to pay for is what they pay for. You know what I'm saying? So
How much is VADA in your opinion? Because we hear different things. We've had Victor Conti say 11 to 15. I've heard fighters say 30. Have you paid for
So
VADA for any of your fighters? And what have you have to
nah.
pay?
If VADA testing is ever brought up in any type of contract, I don't have any of my fighters. You know, they can all test for it, but we're not paying for it. It's a promoter's job. It's under the inks of the promotion to pay
Wait a
for it. It shouldn't
minute.
come out.
So that's what she wanted, the promoter to pay for VADA.
But when you have beef with your promoter ain't gonna pay for it. You gotta play nice, man.
Yo, but you
You
don't
gotta,
find that weird that now Eddie Hearn is saying that moving forward for every Matchroom show, the main event at a minimum is going to be VADA, and everybody's going to be VADA, and how there was...
They're moving away from the
yeah.
old testing facility, obviously.
because of probably how long it took for them to get the samples there, probably at this point. You know
Now,
what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. I'm
Brian,
not saying. Listen,
do you
go ahead.
know? Do you know? Because this is just what I've been told from people from VADA. So I know that fight wasn't VADA, but hear me. So people from VADA have told me that WADA protocol, which is what Drug Free Sport is supposed to be under, is to ship the sample overnight shipping. Do you believe? Do you know that to be true? And do you believe, if that's the case, that there could be
contamination?
You know, because it did take 9 days for the sample to make it to the lab.
You know what, man? I don't know the delay, but what I do know is this: the night of the fight, Christina gave her sample, right? I know Christina gave her sample, and the lady, I guess, she was in charge. She was in charge of the other, the girl that was taking Bumgardner's sample, and she kept getting phone calls saying that there was an issue upstairs with her giving the sample. So that's all I know. You know, you could speculate whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe she just couldn't piss. I don't know, right? But I know she, you know, Christina peed real quick. Boom, boom, boom. She took the sample. She goes, guys, is it okay if I leave you because I have to go upstairs? There's a big issue upstairs. I don't know what the big issue was. To be fair to Alicia.
And that would have been the clean sample, right? You're saying the night of the fight.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that might have been the clean sample. So I don't know, man. But like I said, if everything does come out dirty, that hopefully that title does splinter. Once it splinters, I got a lot of options. I mean, if you look right now, I know Carla Torres doesn't have the most sparkly record, but if you look at her last 3 opponents, she should be in line for a title. Tiara Brown should be in line for a title. El Hamikim should be in line for a title. So I'm trying to stack the pond at 126 and 130.
So what's up with Samara Woods, man? I've been following her before you picked her up. I'm glad to see you picked her up. I see she split with her man, so she might be focused. Because ever since that departure, she started fighting. She turned pro. So I don't know if the boyfriend was holding her back.
I don't, you know what, man? I don't know that whole situation. I just know, you know, she lives in Allentown. She has a
She
good coach.
moved. No, you see, she moved. She was from Florida.
Yeah. So she's in Allentown now. She actually trains at the same gym, not the same trainer as Leanna. So no, man, she's focused. I met with her. I met her son. I met the trainer. I met the trainer's wife, and that's how I like keeping it, man. I like having that. I like having that personal, so they can call me if they need something, or if the trainer has a concern, they can call me. I'm not just one of these managers. Yo, I'm gonna sign a bunch of people. You know what I mean? And then that's it. They don't hear from me. I'm just not that guy. I like to check in with people. You know what I mean?
We've been said last one, but I found your post. So I want your thoughts on this post here, because you know you obviously called her a liar. You're going as far as saying, why would you take the juice? Put a little juice box.
Yeah, a little juice box. That's right. Because I seen the first fight when she fought Christina. The first fight, it looks like she was dancing a merengue with her, man. Like all she did was hold for the last 2 rounds. Then all of a sudden she's you know what I'm saying? She's built like a bodybuilder, and a lot of people that have done bodybuilding knows that steroid that she was popped for knows what it's. You know what I'm saying? Like it just was real. The fight was real different.
You've talked to people in terms of like bodybuilding and people in that world. So, I reached out to a good friend of mine, Victor Conti, and he was like, yo, he's like, anybody, because, the way I look at it, nobody is going to know about cheating better than a cheater. So I reach out to my good friend Vic, and I'm like, yo, what you think about this? He's like, anybody with the slightest idea would have never told her to take your fight week because that shit's gonna be in your system, for a
Right.
while. Have
Right.
you been told the same, or like, what are your people telling you, or like from what you're hearing?
No, literally, I've been told the same exact thing. But I mean, let's be honest. I don't know if she has a bunch of rocket scientists lined up around her either. So you don't know. I mean, you don't know if she knew or whoever was giving it to her possibly knew. You know what I'm saying? So some people just, some people just take it just to take it. I don't know, man. Like I said, man, I always liked Alicia until she started acting brand new. I always liked Nelson until he started acting brand new. And the only reason why they started acting brand new is because I was the one that got them the shot at the title, and that's it.
Two things. When you brought up her performances, obviously the first time she lost to Leonardo, that was a long time ago. She's
Mhm.
since then,
Change trainers.
changed trainers and just, gotten better. You can't
Mhm.
like, do we not believe it could just be she leveled up?
It could be. That's what I'm saying. It could possibly be, but even if she did level up, did she level up without a performance enhancer or without a performance enhancer? Because over a certain amount of years, you learn certain things. Obviously, you get better, right? I became a better driver from when I was 16, 17, right? You know what I'm saying? You can always get better. You can always improve. I just remember that night she had Sugar Hill in her corner. Sugar Hill's a hell of a trainer. You know what I mean? When she fought Leonard Datu the first time. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm anxious to see how this all unfolds. I hope she wasn't cheating because it's kind of going to destroy her professionally. And I think she already took a hit with it as far as sponsorships goes and whatnot. I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. To be fair, especially her. You know what I mean? I like Alicia. You know what I'm saying? We had dinner together, me, her, my wife, David Diamante when we were in England before. But yeah, man, I hope she's keeping it clean. To be fair.
So as of right now, you haven't filed any petition, any for a no contest, nothing with the commissions of Detroit for your fight at Leonardo.
So, on behalf of Leonard Datu's promotional team, DeBella Entertainment, they have filed a motion to turn it into a no contest since she is suspended by the Association of Boxing Commission. But the problem is in Detroit, there's no commissioner right now. So we're actually going through the commission lawyer because Detroit doesn't have a commissioner. So
How long do you think this process would take?
it all depends on the commission, man. If you did it in PA and Greg Serb would have that shit done in probably 3.5 hours. Now, like I said, dealing with commission, I ain't never seen a commission like that, man. And I fought in some third world countries. I never seen such a horrible commission in my life. In my entire life. It was terrible fighting there. It was. It was unsafe. The thing is, man, they have you do all these medicals and these eye tests and these physicals and these blood tests, and it's just not a safe fighting environment. Nobody's watching their hand wraps. The inspectors in the corners are looking into the crowd, talking to people. Nobody's paying attention to anything. So, their focus should be on the safety of the fighter, man, and it's not. And again, this is no disrespect to any fighter in Detroit. It was just a shitty place to fight at.
I gotta double back, Brian. I gotta double back. I need a better answer because you're like, I got a contract. She signed it. I got her the
Yeah.
Terry Harper fight. Like, as a fight fan, her life changed after Terry Harper. How
Yeah.
do you not feel you are owed? You gave her a life-changing opportunity that rocket, what is it? What's the word phrase I'm looking like? It catapulted her career.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm just
Karma's
waiting
not a
for
good
it.
enough answer for me. I need more, please.
So, when you put money into stock, the stock it'll accrued interest, right?
Yep.
Maybe I'm just waiting for the right time for it to accrue the right amount of interest before I pull the trigger.
Well, on that note, Brian, please give out your social media. We appreciate you so much. I'm sorry we took so long with this interview. It looks like we went a little bit over an hour and some change, but it was a pleasure, man, listening to you. We have over 900 people watching live here on YouTube and around the world, simulcasting on iHeart and TuneIn and all those many great places. So they enjoyed it. A lot of people,
Okay.
like me, that we didn't know you. We just know this
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
with all these great fighters.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys giving me the platform. Anytime you guys want to do it again, please, man. I know it was a little difficult because of my travel schedule, and I apologize for that. Anytime you guys want me to jump on, I'm happy to help out,
Yeah, we're gonna set
in
up
any
that
way
Rick
possible.
Ramos virtual press conference. I can't believe Rick ducked me. I even
Yo,
tweeted.
set it
I
up.
even tweeted like, "Yo, where's Rick at?" Cause
Yo,
go
because
go
he,
go to our Twitter. Because this is live. So like, it's people on Twitter Spaces. Everybody's like, Rick, where you at? This guy's talking about Rick. Usually Rick is in the chat. Usually Rick is WhatsApping me. Where you at, Rick? I want your side
listen,
of the story. You better not give it to nobody else.
I would love for you to do a little virtual him and I on the same show, and then that'll set up our little charity fight that we can. Well, I'll do it. We could do it in his gym. I don't care where we do it. We'll do it in his
Wait, but
gym.
what's your
We could,
weight class? Cause you looking like a
man.
heavyweight, champ.
No, so I actually turned pro at 135. I fought at 54. I won the one. I think it was either 168 or 75 Continental American title. I mean, I'm short. I'm short as shit. I'm like 5'6" on a good day. You know what I mean? 5'7" with Tim's. It don't matter. Whatever weight he wants to fight at, whatever weight he wants to fight at, I can either come up or go down to. I'll fight my stunt double, man. I would love to do it for charity. If there's any charitable organizations, they can reach out to you guys or whatever. We could just raise some money and then he could wear, he could wear big headgear with the bar on it. I won't
What we
wear any.
gotta do before you get this fight, you got to get to BoxRec and tell him change that picture. This doesn't look like you at all.
No.
At all. I
So,
mean, this is
so,
my
so,
impression of you. When I'm looking for you, this is who I thought you were. You don't even have those wrinkles on your forehead. The hair is
no,
not the same. You obviously
no.
don't use those glasses. What's going on?
So what happened?
You looking like Steven Seagal in this picture, man.
Yo, so check this out. That was the picture they used when I got into the fight with Eddie Hearn on stage. When I told him don't get cute with me.
Damn, you
I'm
got
not the
into a
one.
fight with Eddie too? Holy shit,
It was
this interview never
well,
gonna end.
yo, you disrespect my fighters. I got issues. So we did the press conference, and I'm gonna finish up with this, man. I'm sorry for going over so long. I
It's all
apologize to
good.
all your listeners and viewers and stuff like that. But Christina was fighting Katie Taylor, and he wouldn't give out a rematch clause, and so we were still working out the contract when they wanted to do the press conference. She flew in from Greece. I flew in from Philadelphia. When I seen her, she's crying because she wanted to fight. Obviously, it was for great money. She couldn't turn it down. But yo, to see my fighter cry, so when I got on stage and he started making little funny jokes, I told him, "Don't get quirky with me. Don't get cute because I'm not the one." And then everything got quiet, and you know what I'm saying. But now, like I said, that's what that picture was from. To be honest with you, I don't know why they got that one up there. I'm gonna change that, John.
Rick has the youth though, Brian. I don't know. You think you're gonna open up a favorite?
I will take him to the deep waters and drown his little stupid fucking ass.
What weight? We need a weight because we got to get all the particulars away.
My brother, I'm an athlete. Whatever fight, whatever weight, I'm certified in nutrition, personal training. I will get down or go up to any weight that my man wants to go at. It doesn't matter. If he says the fight is at 154, I'll be eating lettuce downstairs as soon as this fucking interview is over.
Wait, can your wife make his wife's weight?
All day, twice on Tuesdays.
Oh shit! I love it. I love it. A double exhibition in Chicago. Let's bring it back to the city. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's bring it back. Let's bring
All
it
right,
back.
man. Well, Brian, we
All right, guys.
appreciate you. This has been a fantastic interview, man. Thank you so much.
Guys, I appreciate you both, man. Thank you for what you do for giving me the platform and let me express my story and my feelings to everybody. I'm hope I wasn't too long-winded for everybody.
Nah, it was great, bro. I'm gonna be getting messages about this for weeks.
All right, brother.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you guys.
There you
All
have
right.
it, ladies and gentlemen. Manager Brian Cohen. I knew it was gonna be fucking amazing. Watch everybody start interviewing him now. I knew it, bro. I could tell. I could sniff a story. That shit is inspiring. Inspiring. That many fighters. Let me just screen share this shit one more time. And again, there's names on here that obviously he manages and that are not even on here, like Alicia Napoleon. You know what I mean? But look at all these fighters, bro. Well, this is his fighter. We got to go to his box rec as a manager. And look at this, bro. Ebony Bridges, Tierra Brown, Jessica Camara, Leanna Cruz. I mean, he even had Miss Tyson. I can't believe that, bro. You see, Alicia Napoleon's not there. Christina Leonardo to O'Shea Jones, Mary McGee. We ain't even talk about McGee. Love McGee's Instagram. We got M. McCad or whatever. I mean, it's just so many, bro. I don't know how he did this one. Let me show y'all this one, right? Let me go here. This is what we was talking about when I said that the girl moved. I know it was her man holding her back. He gonna hear this like, yo, who the fuck is you? It's like, dog, you was holding her back, man. She should have been turned fucking pro. This one, she should have been pro. She certainly got the look. Now she got the team. She could do something. She's out of Florida, got that Puerto Rican background, just moved to PA. So now this dude is somehow killing it, man. Shout out to him. But we're gonna take these calls. Jay Swift, what up? If you want to call in, the number to call 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Jay, you gotta unmute on Twitter. If you want Discord, go ahead and request. We going out to Brandon in Cincinnati. What up?
Yo, how's my audio?
Straight.
It's gotta be straight for this one. Where Daniel at? Daniel's son, front and center. He in the building?
Danny ducking. He seen all the comments that he was out here on some defense attorney shit. He ducking.
Nah, I ain't trying to talk about boxing. He know what I want to talk about.
Danny, you know what he want to talk about. He made a bet with you?
Nah. We ain't make the bet. I just want to talk shit about
He
them
jumping on
Bears
Twitter
and them
Spaces.
Packers.
He jumping on Twitter Spaces right now.
Yeah, hop on Twitter. Talk about them Packers. Told you niggas, man. The Jordan Love era has begun, and my Packers are in good hands. Yes. But on to the boxing. Yeah, Frank Martin. If that's what he was going to tweet, he should have shut the fuck up. He gave us nothing. He told us no details. He didn't say he was getting in the tank fight. He was better off not saying anything at all. It looks like a duck, man. It looks like a duck. He didn't want the smoke. I hear a lot of narratives, same old narratives we used to see with the Errol Spence situation. Why would PBC lend out a fighter to fight on somebody else's network? Well, the bottom line is they could have let the fight go to purse bid and brought Shakur to PBC. Why didn't they do that if they were so invested in the Frank? So I'm not buying that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want the smoke, man. That's just the bottom line. They're not that invested in Frank, and I'm not buying that. I believe Derek James is having PTSD about that ass whooping Earl took. He knows Shakur is Bud 2.0.
Damn,
And he
2.0.
knew
So
his
you think he
fighter.
better?
Yeah, he's the younger version, man. He's the new model. Bud's 36. This is the new and improved model. Shakur is him. I'm not gonna lie about that. Shakur is really him. And they just didn't want to put Frank in there. Like I said, if they were that invested in the Frank Martin business, they could have easily took that fight to purse bid and put up some big money and got Frank a nice payday. But they didn't want to do that. They agreed to the fight, and then at the last minute, according to the OGJP, they had a last minute meeting that said, "Nah, we made a mistake. We gonna get you up out of that." I ain't buying that, man.
Hold on. You think it was a mistake, or you think it was all part of the plan, like to just stall him out and make it more difficult to get an opponent? Because like you stealing days off his clock by saying yes, then saying no. You think it was chess, or they really just changed their mind last minute?
I don't know, man. I really can't answer. My thing is they didn't just now realize what they wanted to do with Frank Martin at the last minute. They know what kind of roster they have. They know what kind of stable they have. Nothing's changed in their stable. My thing is they really wanted to put Frank Martin in there with Tank. Why agree to this fight to begin with? They didn't just wake up the day after he signed to fight Shakur and say, I think we want to let him fight Tank now. I'm not buying that, man. They ducked the smoke. Told you, man, niggas is CB4. Them niggas is MC Gusto over there. That's just all it is, man. They not the real deal, bro. They had the people hoodwinked and bamboozled, and they just slowly getting exposed one by one.
I mean,
But
but if
yeah,
everybody's
they,
calling Frank,
what's up, bro?
if everybody's calling Frank a 28-year-old prospect, I mean, maybe he just not ready, bro. Y'all calling him a 28-year-old prospect. Y'all not calling him a
Well,
28-year-old
well,
contender.
well, say that then. I'd rather you keep it real and just say you ain't ready. Don't
Word,
just get on there and say I ain't duck shit. I mean, you
word.
told us nothing, bro. You was better off just being quiet and announcing a tank fight if you get in the tank fight, because you gave us no explanation on why you didn't take this fight. So
Hmm.
it's not looking good for him.
Hey,
But it's not looking
Brandon,
good for that camp as a whole. You
bear
know,
down, baby.
niggas not looking good over
We
there.
ain't worried
But
about shit,
I'm gonna let
man.
you go, Ness. Danny,
Bear
hop your
down,
ass on.
man.
Explain
Bear
what happened to
down,
them
man. Fuck
Bears,
you
though,
talking
champ.
about. Bear
Got their
down.
ass kicked by
Fuck
my
you talking about.
Packers.
Bear down. It's still bear down. Fuck you mean?
You mean the Bears is
Yeah.
down because they lost?
Nah.
They ain't lose. Ness, you don't watch sports. They didn't lose. They got their ass whipped.
Oh,
It's
wow.
different. Got
Damn.
bludgeoned to death. It was kind of like the Bud and Arrow fight. They got bludgeoned pretty bad by a first-year quarterback. The love eras began. Cheeseheads were in good hands. That's my call, TBV. I'm out, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right. Big Boss, Nino. What up? What up? What up? Big Boss, you there? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Motherfucking Twitter. Twitter. All right. Give me 1 second. Big Boss.